Hello, Cats and Kittens. Hola, Jose, Yoshua. I'm back in the Crisis Corner with another recommendation. Usually, I do recommendations that have to do with movies, anime, and so forth. And recommendations are just me sharing what I love. You can take it however you like. In this particular instance, De La Soul. De La Soul to me is elite hip hop. I mean, they stand among the best. You can name any crew that you want to throw out there. I put De La Soul up there with them. East Coast, West Coast. I don't care if you're talking about. Um, I don't know. DE, Tribe, NWA, whoever you want to throw out there. They are, to me personally, the most important rap crew out there. Period. To me. Again, this is subjective. This is me sharing with you what I love. So what I'm going to do for this video, of their 8 to 9, I think they have studio albums. I'm gonna give out my top 5 in order from, I guess you would say, least to best. I love all of them, and it's in the top 5, but just ranking them. And as a bonus, I'm going to give you a deep cut off of each album. And again, for a deep cut, I'm saying a piece of music that is little known in comparison to their other music. So I'm going to list the singles off of the albums, but then I'm going to give you a deep cut and put a link in the description for you to sample that deep cut. That's fair. So we're going to go from 5 to 1. And starting at number 5, I have Artificial Intelligence, Mosaic Thump. Artificial Intelligence, Mosaic Thump is the 5th studio album by De La Soul, and it was released in August 8th, 2000. And unlike their previous album, Stakes is High, Mosaic Thump returned De La Soul to the charts with singles such as Ooh, All Good. Those were the singles. And as a deep cut from this album, I recommend The Art of Getting Jumped. The Art of Getting Jumped. The title alone is just hilarious, but it does illustrate to you the humor and just the musical acumen, the samples that they put together, the rhymes. It's funny and it's real. You know, the whole club experience, putting on shows. Pos actually got jumped at a show by a crew that they were on I think it was Naughty by Nature. Trench, I can't remember who it was, but somebody from Naughty by Nature, he got jumped by him at a show. And, out of that experience came this song, The Art of Getting Jumped. I recommend it. Check it out. It is a cool track, and it is a funny track. And again, it brings to light their humor. They didn't take themselves too seriously, but at the same time, they can rhyme, they can flow, and they can sample and put samples together, and they can get you moving. So again, The Art of Getting Jumped. At number 5, De La Soul, Artificial Intelligence, Mosaic Thump. Going in at number 5, I have De La Soul is Dead. And a lot of you might have put that higher, but you'll see. Okay, De La Soul is Dead. It is the 2nd studio album from De La Soul, and that was released in May 13th, 1991. The album was one of the first to receive a 5 mic rating in the hip hop magazine The Source, and it was also selected as one of the Source's top 100 best albums in 1998. Singles from De La Soul is Dead include the infamous roller skate jam named Saturdays, Millie pulled a pistol on Santa Claus, slash a double A side, Keeping the Faith. So that was released as a double A side. If you a lot of people probably don't know what a double A side is. Don't worry about it. Now, that's unfortunate because my deep cut was going to be Keeping the Faith, which is a phenomenal track. Um, so I can't do that. And I could do Ring Ring, Ha Ha, Hey Hey, but I ain't gonna do that either because it's known. It's a very well known track. What I pull out for my deep cut, it's not unknown, but it's a favorite of mine. Oodles or O's. Oodles or O's is my deep cut from De La Soul is Dead. And the flow on that is just absolutely, it's beautiful. I mean, just the rhymes with the O's, everything got to end with an O basically. And just, it's a cool track. It's a very, very, very cool track. It gets you moving just from the outset. Uh, Very pleasant to listen to. Great rhymes, great flow. Can't recommend that one enough. Coming in at number three, this is the shocker. This is going to be the shocker. Coming in at number three, I have 3 feet high and rising, and I can hear the screams from here. 3 feet high and rising is my number three entry in the top five of my favorite De La Soul albums. 3 feet high and rising is a debut album from De La Soul, and it was released in February 6, 1989 by Tommy Boy Records. It was the first of 3 collaborations with Prince Paul and was critically and commercially a success. It was consistently placed on a list of the greatest albums of all time, as noted by many publications. Singles from that album include Plug Tuning, Potholes in My Lawn, the infamous Buddy, I Know, Me, Myself, and I, got a lot of radio play off of that, Say No Go, and the mighty The Magic Number, which is just, it's a legendary track in and of itself. So given all of those singles, what do I pull off of 3 feet high and rising as my deep cut? I recommend to you check out a track called Tread Water. It is a philosophical track that has a very nice groove to it. It's like it's a story type track, but it's more the philosophically keep your head above the water. It's a positive track, just with a cool beat. That's all I can tell you. It's a great cut. It's a great cut. De La heads know that one very well. So 3 feet high and rising is my number three. What could two and one possibly be? So, number two on my list, Stakes is High. Stakes is High is the fourth studio album by De La Soul, and it was released in July 2nd, 1996 through Tommy Boy Records. The album marked a change in the group's sound and direction, and it was their first release not to be produced by Prince Paul. This was their What's Going On, if you're a Marvin Gaye fan. This would equate to me like What's Going On. It was very in tune with the times, in tune with the state of the rap game at that time, and it called out a lot of people, maybe not directly, but it called out a lot of the attitudes in rap at that particular time. Singles from that album were Stakes is High, It's So Easy, Hot, that's one track, and Four More. My deep cut, and You could say Big Brother beat. You could. There was a lot of meat on this bone. There was a lot of uh, possible selections, but for my deep cut, I'm going with Down syndrome. Down syndrome was the jam. It was just the beat alone. It was insistent. The rhymes were just cutting. They were just oh, just listen to that track. It's glorious. It's glorious. Now, Down syndrome, maybe people get touchy about that, say it's a disease, but it's not Down syndrome like the disease. It's a play on words. Don't get caught up in that. Just check it out. Down syndrome. Awesome track. Coming in at number one, ask Chris Rock. Buhloone Mind State. To me, this is the pinnacle of their excellence. It's just their greatest achievement. Buhloone Mind State. It like it was the precursor to Stakes is High, and that it also dealt with a lot of what was going on in the rap industry, in society in general. More or less, you look at a track like Patty Dukes and stuff like that. It dealt with a lot of the rap game. Um, let me get the info out. It is their third studio album by De La Soul. It was released in September 21st, 1993 through Tommy Boy Records. And it was the group's last recording with Prince Paul. The themes were egotism, selling out, and you get that from the opening track. The first thing you hear on the track is they saying it might blow up, but it won't go pop. It might blow up, but it won't go pop. It might blow up, but it won't go pop. It's reference to the rap, them in the rap game. They get their accolades. They didn't go pop. They didn't sell out, so to speak. So there's that. Singles from the album, Break of Dawn, which is a fantastic track. I mean, if they didn't put that out as a single, that would have been the deep cut. But they did, so it's not. Ego Tripping Part 2. Those were the two singles from that album. For my deep cut, it was tough. But for my deep cut, I have to go with Stone Age, the last track on the album. Collaboration with Biz Markie. Stone Age, listen to it. Just listen to it. Especially, no knock. I mean, Dave opened it and closed it beautifully. But check out the bit in the middle with Biz and Paz. Just the cadence, the flow that Paz has on his lines, and Biz gets injected into them at these little critical moments to finish his lines. It's just, ooh, check out Stone Age. I'm telling you, I promise you, you will love that track. Stone Age. So that's my top five. Artificial Intelligence, Mosaic Thump, De La Soul is Dead, 3 Feet High and Rising, Stakes is High, Mind State. De La Soul to me was a very, very important group. They are to me in hip hop what the Beatles are to me in pop. De La, I would not say are the greatest they're not the greatest hip hop in the history of hip hop. They're just the most important to me. They signified freedom. They signified being different and being cool with being different. They were free. They did things that nobody else was doing. The skits. They had a little comic book in in De La Soul is Dead. They had just their vocab. I mean, it was just unique, and they let you know that it's all right to be unique, to be different. Don't go because a lot of stuff that they did was when everybody was trying to be hard out there on the West Coast and gangster rap was doing this, that, and the other, and they just stayed themselves and did what they did best. So I love De La. I recommend them to you. Um, Dave, Trugoy, Plug Two, Gone but Not Forgotten, De La to the Death. So like I say, Check out these albums. Enjoy. Let me know what you think. If you are a De La head, let me know what your top five is. That's all I got. Till next time, stay loose.